You are really hired, Mr. Stark.
And welcome to another exciting episode of the KLIQ Nation's Comic Book Chronicles. I'm your host, Tim D-O-double-G. And the man behind the sound effects is at Agent_70 on Twitter.
What's up, everybody?
And with us also tonight is at RowdyCat on Twitter.
Hi, everybody. Hopefully, there's no intimidation.
Get drowned out by the applause.
Uh,
Oh, boy.
And again, we are the KLIQ Nation Comic Book Chronicles. You can find us by going to our website, thekliqnation.com. On the homepage are links to our social media accounts. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Google+. Remember to subscribe to the podcast by going to iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Google Play, TuneIn Radio, YouTube, and I think that's it. And speaking of podcasts, we are a part of the Code Slither Podcast Network. Go to cspn.us. Do it today. And make sure to buy some Comic Book Chronicles merchandise by going to shop.cspn.us. We record live every Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And you can watch live by going to thekliqnation.com/live. And if you're talking comics on social media, use the hashtags Comic Book Chronicles and CBCron to join in the conversation. Our first review for this week is a book that's going to be on probably a few of our clicks of the week. That is Thanos number 16 from Marvel Comics.
Yeah, this is definitely something I was mentioning just before going on the air, that I had just finished kind of speed reading the book, and Tim Dog was mock scolding me and saying, "No, man, that's something you've got to savor and read slowly."
It's just that good.
It is.
I feel like that after I read every issue. So we went from one great writer in Jeff Lemire, chronicling and launching the series, to passing the baton to Donny Cates, who has taken the baton and ran with it, introducing future King Thanos, a crazy Ghost Rider imbued with the powers from Galactus, an Annihilation Wave possessed Silver Surfer, who we again see here. And also in issue 16, we see the origin of the Cosmic Ghost Rider, who we learn his secret. I don't know if it's secret, but his identity last issue.
Yep.
The tragic tale of the Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Right. I'll ring the spoiler bell just because, you know, even though the identity may not be very spoilery, it's been a month. But, you know, a lot of the details are in the telling in this issue. So I'll ring it just so that if you're still not sure what's going on in this series in terms of this Cosmic Ghost Rider, we'll hold off on spoiling too much.
What you want to spoil or not spoil, I should say.
Right. Well, I was about to say we can spoil like who it is, because it's kind of key to you know, kind of the telling of this tale this week. So I rang the bell. Don't get mad. You have plenty of time to fast forward now, or mute if you're watching live, the Cosmic Ghost Rider is none other than one Frank Castiglione. If you don't know who that is, that's actually Frank Castle, otherwise known as the Punisher.
Yes.
And how we get to, I was about to say, how we get from A to B to C to D is pretty fun.
Huh.
It's not like too crazy or out of the ordinary, but it's enough where you're like, huh.
Yeah.
He went through a lot.
He sure did.
For a long period of time.
For a long time. You know, especially from A to B.
I guess
eons.
Where in a world where Frankencastle exists, I guess this is not too far fetched.
Right.
It's just a lot of fun. Like once you realize it's just not that, you know, it's far fetched in the sense that it's not exactly something you would expect to happen to a street level character, but in the telling, it's like, oh yeah, I get it. That's you know, I get that.
So I like that it's basically two separate, almost two half stories put together.
Yes.
So we have the one half being the origin of the Ghost Rider, and then the second half being, it's not even present day, but back to the future where the two Thanoses and Ghost Rider are fighting Silver Surfer and his army on his side.
His annihilation wave.
Yes. And then how he ends the issue. Well, first, the Cosmic Ghost Rider uses his Ghost Rider Hellfire to evaporate the annihilation wave. But of course, that's not enough to defeat the Silver Surfer.
Right.
Who then shows that he has been waiting and working
on something,
in the background.
So this is a pretty unexpected cliffhanger page. I was very pleasantly surprised to see this.
Yeah. So I like that. It feels like every issue ends with a cliffhanger on that final page, more or less.
Yeah, this one's pretty fun. Like, it got me. I was pretty shocked.
Yep. So, more good things in store. Next issue, it's going to be the winner-take-all final battle royale, so to speak.
Right. So, our illustrious fourth co-host, PCN_Dirt, PCN_Dirt on Twitter, everybody, wasn't able to join us at the last second because of some good news happening, some good stuff happening in his circle of family and friends. So just to go through his thoughts on this issue, we basically covered everything, but he emphasizes that you really should be reading this comic. It's, you know, this book is awesome.
Right. And I agree. Every week it comes out, I'm putting it at the top of my list. My read pile.
Nice. Very cool. I think I have to pick up this issue. They didn't have it at my shop this week. I think they under ordered. So I gotta pick this issue up.
What's next?
Well, tell us, President Butler.
What's next?
So,
everyone can go around tossing out a book.
Yeah. Let's see. How about anyone read Champions number 17?
I was actually just in the middle of it before we started.
How about I do something that I think you probably finished? Black Panther number 170.
Well, I mean, you could have done Champions because I see where that one's going.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, you know, with Champions, we're in the midst of, I guess, the side effect of the membership drive, where the members of the Champions are kind of stepping all over each other, stepping on each other's toes, because their base / clubhouse is a little overcrowded.
And the side note, they're also playing a game that I kind of wish was out, which probably could be. given the slew of Marvel mobile games that are about.
Right.
But
We begin our tale with something that is kind of unexpected. We have an image of something, and now that we've seen it, we're sure to see it again in the story. I forget what that's called. There's a term of art for it. Now that it's been introduced in the story, it's sure to come back.
right.
You know, there's some sort of there's some term in storytelling. I forget what it is exactly. I've heard it a bunch lately, but now that we've seen it, it's sure to play. You know, this particular object is sure to play a role
We
later
hope.
on in the story. And so I was actually referring to kind of not the B story, but kind of the second thing that we see in this issue. The first thing we have is the now human Viv kind of reaching out for help from her teammates, and you know we find the teammates kind of indisposed because they're stepping all over the new recruits.
I am pretty relegated, at least according to what I've got in my notes, is calling her Viv Prime and calling the other one Dark Viv. This is what's going on in this issue.
I was just going for Viv 2.0.
Yeah. Everyone's got jokes that they all work. They all work. What's funny about basically Viv 2.0 / Dark Viv creates a disturbance to kind of distract the champions, and it kind of hits a little too close to home for us New Yorkers here, because we've been having a lot of issues with subways over the last year. And let me tell you, seeing this, I'm just like, oh, it's all Viv Vision's fault. It's all her fault. So, but
yeah, I haven't read it yet, but probably try to make room tomorrow for it.
Sure.
Well, the only other thing to say without actually really spoiling the thing is like Viv 2.0, aka Dark Viv. There's some things going on with her, and apparently this is a plot.
Right. And
a familiar plot, actually, but just hey.
Yeah, there's definitely a plot. There's definitely very familiar echoes of a certain Vision Limited series, and also we kind of get what might be going on. Some clues as to what might be going on. Care of the new Wasp and her review of the Vision.
Yes, we finally find out what's going on with Vision, with what he's part of what's going on with him.
Right, and it's directly implied that this might be the cause of what's going on with Viv 2.0. And like I said, the object that we first see in this issue makes an appearance and plays a vital role in the climax of the story and the cliffhanger page at the end. So I'll leave it at that. I'm glad to see a little bit, I hate to say this, a little bit of a culmination of this story. It's been kind of not dragging, because it seems like we get like these kind of one-off issues that kind of focus on, I guess, we have the membership drive and this, that, but it's kind of nice to see this storyline kind of coming to the fore and moving along. And if you hear the fireworks in the background, there is a Jewish religious holiday that's going on right now where they get to run around in costume and apparently set off fireworks when fireworks are illegal in New York City.
Okay, those who watch the video can see what happened with that. All right,
so
moving right along.
All right. Let's see.
Well, since you mentioned it, you want to go ahead and do we can do Black Panther.
Go right ahead.
There's not really much to say about it, but it is. I mean, it is the continuation of a good the battle that's been going on since last issue. Might have been 2 issues ago, I think, when it started. But anyway, so Black Panther, Shuri, and folks went to try to find a friend, and they ended up finding a battle where Thunderball was kind of helping them out a little bit, and still is. And Then, as people are wont to do, and you should do in D&D, always go after the mage first.
I didn't even think of that. That's funny.
That ends up happening, but then from that becomes the way to end the battle. And here comes Shuri and Storm to save the day, including a nice little moment between T'Challa and Storm, which still playing with my emotions, but that's okay. We're gonna work that out.
Codes is such a tease.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's also said that that's never gonna happen. So
I got to tell you that I appreciate that at least the latter half of this particular arc has been good in terms of, you know, kind of picking up the pace and moving the action along, and, you know, moving towards the climax of the story. And I think that Coates has kind of hit a nice stride the last few issues.
I know people don't seem to care about his style of doing things.
Well, you know what I was going to say is I still think he's still working out a lot of the kinks in his comic writing style.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think that's I honestly think, and it's tough to see, you know, it's kind of weird that, you know, someone would have the opportunity, someone with the writing chops and the experience would have the opportunity to kind of work out those kinks on a high profile book. But at the same time, you have to understand, you know, like if you're a regular comic reader, it's like, well, this is kind of dull, but I'm going to stick with it, see where it goes. That's how a lot of readers treat things that they're looking forward to.
Like you can see him he's starting to hit a stride, because you can definitely see the beats coming in and out. And, you know,
right.
during
And I appreciate, you know, I can appreciate that, you know, he had some growing pains to go through. So, you know, I'm hoping that he's working that out, and now he can, you know, really achieve a good balance of, you know, world building and telling, maybe not. I think William Bruce West calls it the Wakandan West Wing, but you know, at the end of the day, you know, it's a superhero comic. It's like Redman says, time for some action. So,
well, I mean, I think we have seen books that doesn't always have to rely on action in comic books. In fact, I think there might be one you may end up bringing up if I hadn't seen your list. But nevertheless, you know, even though yes, it is a superhero book,
there's got to be exactly. The whole point is there's got to be a better mix,
right? So I'm thinking he's starting to get there. So
yeah, I think so too. I have high hopes for you know, his progression, and his evolution as a writer.
And it'd be bad if he did just kind of come into it, you know, just guns a blazing, you know, like hell. There's some comic writers for years that still have problems with their stride.
Yep, that's true enough. True enough. All right, Tim, what do you got? We can also talk stuff that's on Doug's list, the PCN_Dirts list.
Yeah, I think he's pretty much mostly somebody's read most of his stuff with the exception of one. But yeah,
I was going to do Detective Comics 975.
And there's one,
which has Batwoman on trial by the Bat family, even though she's not in attendance. But Batman assembles the family together to get his opinion, to second and third hand opinions on how he should deal with Kate Kane, who killed Clayface in a previous issue. And it's pretty good. You know, everyone gets a word in. Nightwing, Batgirl, Red Hood, Damian. Only one missing was Duke. Thought Duke was part of the team now. But he's nowhere to be seen. And we also catch up with Kate, who makes her own decision at whether or not she's going to stay with the Gotham Knights or join with her father and lead his colony team. So big things in play. And speaking of DC, I'm going to do one of Dirt's. Action Comics 998. Booster Gold, time traveler extraordinaire, helps Superman escape future Zod and confirms the Oz stuff. But will he allow further timeline tampering to save the lives of Lois and her father? Duh. But still, Booster is always fun, and Skeets gets to kick some ass.
Skeet. I'm sorry. Sorry. We may have tonight's song. I hope not. Oh, mercy.
I think it's on you now, actually.
All righty. So how about all right, it looks like Tim read that. Maybe I'll try to cover something. Actually, you know what? How about let's just talk about Invincible Iron Man number 597. So it's not just me chiming in on this. So this is part of Bendis' swan song on the book and at Marvel. And a lot of this book focuses on not Tony Stark, but on one Victor Von Doom.
Leading up to that 600, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
I guess it dealt a lot with that, but I actually skipped all. Well, I didn't skip it, but I could care less about the Doom stuff.
Okay.
I'm all about the Riri.
Oh.
Because they're teasing. I don't know. I want to figure out what they're teasing with her. A lot of talk about the future. The future in quotation marks, both words.
Right.
And it ties back to how the final panel and the final page of the Iron Man Generations one shot ended with her talking about the future. So I'm wondering if it's linking to that. But yeah, we have guest stars from Tony Ho, Madison Jeffries, and Arno Stark.
Yeah, I was about to say Madison Jeffries. Where has this guy been?
Is he an X-Men character? I'm trying to remember him.
No, he's an old school Marvel character. He used to be with Alpha Flight. He used to be Box. And
Box?
Yeah. Like the red and white robot.
Oh yeah. I think like Tim, I've always associated with X-Men also. Like I guess kind of by proxy of Alpha Flight. You guess you can kind of say that, but
yeah.
Yeah, he predates he was on Alpha Flight before X-Men.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a blast from the past when I turned to read that. That was pretty interesting.
Shouldn't he be old?
Come on.
Yeah.
Rubber band timeline, right? So yeah, I guess I was focusing on the Doom stuff because we start with the Doom stuff and we end with the Doom stuff, but we do have that interlude, that nice kind of middle part of the book that deals with an update to Riri's situation. And it's nice to see that the legalities didn't exactly get in her way.
Oh, and those little mini Iron Man bots that fly off with her suit, we actually saw those in the future in that Generations one shot.
Man, I got to go dig up that Generations one shot.
I did that this morning.
All right.
As I kept thinking back to this, I was like, they keep teasing this future. I was like, wait, there was a future storyline or a future story with her.
Huh? Who knew that was going to come into play?
Gotta go digging around in our hard drives or comic book boxes, our long boxes.
The one thing I don't understand or I don't get is how Blade ties into this.
They've been using Blade a good bit lately, so maybe I'm assuming maybe they're trying to push him back into the MCU by proxy.
Nah,
I mean it's possible, but I don't know. Like I have noticed there's been a lot, especially like lately. But there's been a lot more Blade than we've seen in a while. Like the last time we've seen Blade was like Captain America and the Mighty Avengers a few years ago.
Yeah, so he was in Spirits of Vengeance and
and going to show up in Falcon. I mean, no, excuse me, he's showing up in Damnation.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think he might show up in now that I think about it, I think he is going to show up in Falcon. Because I just remember what happened at the last page.
All right. So yeah, I don't know if you could say that a lot happens in this issue, but at least we seem to be hurtling towards the last few issues that are left in Bendis' run.
Yep. Was it May? Both his Miles and Iron Man runs come to an end.
Right. Sounds about right. Okay, so do you guys want to go into rapid fire now, or just throw out maybe one book more each?
I mean, we can rapid fire it.
Rapid fire. Let me bring up the Vulcan. All right, we are in rapid fire review time.
Let's see. Dirthead Mirror #1. This actually ties into Aquaman and Justice League. So if you read either, you should check it out. It actually feels like the stuff in here will matter for a change and builds on Abnett's Aquaman nicely.
Okay. All right, so I'll throw out Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man #300. The Tinkerer storyline is moving right along, and there's a particular twist in this issue that I'm not so keen on. I've been enjoying Zdarsky's run on this for since its inception, and now that we're at this kind of big anniversary issue, we're taking a bit of a sci-fi twist, and I'm not so sure I'm happy about that, because I've read some of the solicits for upcoming issues, and I'm it's not unheard of for Spidey comics to take a sci-fi twist, but it's kind of a well-worn trope in comics. So it's kind of disappointing to see that that's where this story's headed. Avengers 682, more Avengers fighting against the Lethal Legion, fighting against the Black Order, dealing with these pyramoids that do different things. Jarvis is at first doing better and now doing a lot worse than he was even when he was in a coma. And ultimately, we hopefully are moving towards some sort of culmination, because it feels like we've been reading this forever, and that's a byproduct of it coming out every week.
It's the contest of villains. Just don't.
Yeah, and finally, for me, I'm going to talk about it because it is a serious candidate for Click of the Week. It's Spider-Gwen #29. I know I love to poke fun at Dirt and how he rags on Robbie Rodriguez's art. Yeah, it's just as kinetic and crazy looking in this issue as it has been, but there's so much fun in this issue. There's some meta stuff in here. There's some Watcher stuff in here from Earth 65. It's a lot of fun. It's a very strong candidate for Click of the Week for me. And that wraps up my books for the week.
I just had one more, that being Terrifics #1.
Oh, good. That's one less for me. Cool.
I didn't have too much to say. Ivan Rice's art is great, but not much else in the story. It ties to metal, but since it's not over yet, hard to tell how much it ties into it. We get some exposition from Mr. Terrific on Plastic Man, and Tom Strong shows up via digital message at the end, and that's about it.
Yeah, the group meets up, and we actually, if you've been reading DC books in the last few months, you'll see the first part of this book, and now you get to see the rest of it. And apparently Galactus shows up.
What?
Read and find out. Anyway, for me, I will try to blow through mine as fast as we can. Let's see. Teen Titans 17, Beast Boy goes solo after, I guess, the events of Super Sons, which I still haven't read yet. But, I mean, the Super Sons crossover thing. He meets the Lost Boys, or some technologized version of the Lost Boys from Peter Pan, who, on the other side of it, is causing some issues. So that the rest of the team is going to end up meeting back up with Beast Boy at some point soon because of this. And they have some technology that is apparently taking over, or not taking over people's brain, but implanting in people's brains through your nose, and almost like a oh shoot, what's that movie? Total Recall sense. But anyway, that's that. They'll meet up. It's gonna happen. Darth Vader #12. Somebody wants Vader dead. It looks like the Emperor, but or at least it was made to look like the Emperor, but it is not. Although Vader goes back to see if it was him, who offers a teachable lesson to Vader, and he goes off and, let's just say, makes a show of force, because now we see the hierarchy of the Empire as we know from the Origin movies, or the original movies, let's just say. And yes, Vader does some Vader stuff right off the bat. Doctor Strange 386. So this is the second part of Damnation or Tarnation, if you're going that route. But you basically get a quick recap of what happened in Damnation book 1. He's playing cards with Mephisto, which ends up causing some things to happen for Doctor Strange. And let's just say this is a different Steven, but the same misery happens to him. And Doc's not been having a good year. So, let's see. Black Panther Long Live the King, number 6. This is the last issue of this. Is the Comixology original. Although the story that was going through this ended last issue, I guess they made this one for whatever reason, or maybe this was the reason it was, because this is a story about a standalone story about the future Black Panther Venom hybrid of a young girl named Ngozi. This is also Nnedi Okorafor's creation from Venomverse, but it's basically a standalone story of her coming home to Nigeria for her aunt's wedding, and she runs into an old flame who causes some issues that she has to sort out, but like I said, it all gets taken care of in the end. Let's see, I already talked about that. And last but not least, while I have not read this yet, I want to give a shout out to America number 12, because it is the last issue of this book, and I hate to see it go, because this was a quirky little book that had some heart. And of the 12 times that I've had to do the digital codes for this book, guess how many of those times that they've actually worked? I will not hold you in suspense and just say 3, folks. So I will miss that headache because I could never get the digital codes for that book quite right. But I look forward to reading that when I get around to it. And that is it for me. And you're muted.
I am not anymore. All right. Let's see. That's everything, right?
You're still muted, Agent 70.
Oh. Like
How was I still muted?
Like I'm not muted
Here
anymore.
we go. So I guess it's time for clicks of the week.
Mine is Thanos number 16.
Ooh. Man, I was in between Thanos number 16 and Spider-Gwen 29, but I think I'm going to jump on the Thanos bandwagon. Thanos number 16 for me as well.
All right, triple threat from you guys. Way to go. Mine is Doctor Strange 386, because it was a good read, just like the Damnation stuff was last week.
Nice.
Cool.
All righty. So
I don't want to have to read.
So I guess we're going to jump right into our first ad read of the night. Our first ad read is for Wink, the personalized wine club. Wink is a world of wine delivered right to your door. From rosé to Cabernet to Torronté, Wink has over 100 styles of wine to discover. Ever try an orange wine? Wink connects you to a world of exclusive wines tailored to your tastes and delivered directly to your door. Wink delivers 4 bottles of wine to you every month with free shipping. You can pick your own bottles or let Wink choose and match to your taste. It doesn't cost a thing to become a member, and you can skip or cancel anytime. And now, the listeners of the KLIQ Nation's Comic Book Chronicles can enjoy an exclusive discount of $20 off your first order. To place your first order with $20 off, and to help keep our show free for you, go to our network website at cspn.us/wink. That's cspn.us/wink. Wink wines through cspn.us. Do it today.
Now to the cinematic news of the week.
Here comes the news.
First up, we have Joss Whedon exits Batgirl movie.
Yay.
Wait a second.
Oh no.
There's been a couple of reasons why. We don't exactly know why, but it happened, and yeah.
Yep. None of these DC or Sony or Fox movies will probably ever get made.
I don't know. They seem to be pushing for a couple of those. So
I mean, I saw someone compare it to like the empty calorie syndrome. Just every so often announce something new to get people excited to cover up for the fact you're not actually making anything. You're just making a bunch of announcements.
I can see that. But there's actually been other news on this front outside of him leaving.
And see, we also have Roxanne Gay wants to write Batgirl, and WB is interested.
So yeah, she put out a tweet saying, "Hey, she wanted to write a Batgirl. I mean, she could write the Batgirl movie." And apparently, an exec was like, "Hey, if you're serious, call me or email me." So that could possibly happen, or it probably won't. But actually, I'll just go ahead and tag this next one in. It's because Gail Simone also said she had an idea for a Batgirl movie. And someone suggested on Twitter that, hey, maybe Roxanne Gay and Gail Simone could tag team it. And she was like, okay, I'm down with it. So maybe something might happen to it. Maybe not.
Yeah.
And Gail Simone has written Batgirl before. So that kind of works out.
Let's see. For a single episode, Iris West is getting one of the best superhero costumes on the CW.
Say what?
When she gets flash powers for an episode.
Which did that? I think that happened already. Did it? No, I don't know. Okay.
That's down the line.
Okay.
Because Jesse Quick and what's their guy, Speedster, that looks like his dad,
Wally?
Jay Garrick, are coming back.
Oh, Jay Garrick, yeah.
Nightwing director circles Dungeons and Dragons movie. Speaking of DC movies that aren't going to get made.
So fatalistic.
We already had the Dungeons and Dragons movie, and it was not great. I should point that out. But this is a different guy, and maybe he's got a different way to go with it.
Lobo screenwriter Jason Fuchs.
I was about to say there was another one before that.
Yeah. Fuchs reveals the comic inspirations for a screenplay. Again, with the movies that aren't going to happen.
Well, that was another one thing with the Nightwing. The Nightwing director also said he wasn't leaving the movie, so maybe that one also will. I don't know. Might happen.
Yeah, just get that. I was like, I just did a Nightwing story. Black Panther fan launches petition calling for Wakanda series that chronicles the beginnings of the nation.
Wakanda forever.
Normally, I hate fan petitions because they're really stupid. This one is one I could probably get around if those things actually ever worked.
Well, for one, it wouldn't happen on Netflix because Marvel's not putting anything else on there.
That's true, and it probably won't happen because
it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, what they call it? Well, actually, Marvel's not putting anything else on Netflix.
Yeah, right.
Any new properties,
Mm-hmm.
they'll continue the stuff they already got.
Although there was that one saying they're probably going to put those on that new service also, some kind of way. So
I think it was like it came out that they can't take up the stuff off Netflix that's already on there.
Right.
The original series stuff.
But hey,
let's see.
So
Black Panther Week 2 box office breaks another set of records. They've broken a lot of stuff. I can't even keep up anymore.
Right.
The best movie ever is going to beat Avatar, maybe one day.
Which probably shouldn't be, that should go without saying. But I don't know what people see in that movie. But hey,
Gemma Chan to play Dr. Minerva in Captain Marvel.
Because yes, that's still coming.
Yes.
They're filling in. I was going to say they're filling in the blanks now.
Mhm.
Now to movies that are actually going to get made.
Oh no! Tim is firing shots out there, man.
We don't have this in news, but it did come out. DC does have a movie coming out, Shazam, and we saw a set photo.
Yeah, I forgot to put that in there. Yeah.
Of Zachary Levi, Chuck as Shazam. I won't say Captain Marvel.
That was a weird looking picture, but yeah, it works, I guess. So
yeah. Mark Hamill may have just tweeted his way into a Guardians of the Galaxy 3 role.
I mean, if anybody's going to be able to, so yeah, so he basically tweeted to James Gunn saying, "Hey, could
help a brother?"
Somebody else tweeted that, "Hey, could you find a role for Mark Hamill?" And then James Gunn and Mark Hamill ended up being replying. Apparently, they're neighbors, so they ended up being tweeting back and forth between each other, and it sounds like something could possibly happen from that, since they live around the corner from each other.
There's a report Saga's Brian K. Vaughan is writing a Silver Surfer movie for Fox.
Stop, Fox. Just stop.
Getting those chops ready for that Saga movie.
It's also never gonna get made.
Oh no! Shots fired.
And that's on his part because he's always talking about how he doesn't want it to be made.
Well, yeah, but he also came out and said that, hey, it could possibly happen. And I think they also said that he and who's the artist said something about wouldn't
Staples.
Thank you. Wouldn't mind a musical with Lin-Manuel at the helm of it, or something to that effect.
Doing a Saga musical?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, nothing's in stone about it, but they're just like, so they'd be up for it.
They'll do a musical, but not a movie.
I said the movie also could still possibly happen, because I think Vaughn was like, yeah, I mean, they did Runaways, and that, didn't seem like that would ever come out, and sure enough, it did.
Let's see. Kevin Smith posts selfie from hospital bed after massive heart attack.
Yeah, actually, I think at the time of this, he's out, up and out.
I was about to say best wishes and get well soon to Kevin Smith. That was that must have been pretty harrowing, because he was, I guess, in between two comedy shows and decided to cancel the second show, and to forego that, and had some friends call an ambulance for him because he just wasn't feeling well, and luckily enough, he got there in time to have a stent put in to alleviate a blockage that was threatening to kill him.
Big blockage at that. But yeah, I think the last picture I saw was him and somebody from DC whose name I can't remember at the point, was a picture of them two together out of the hospital, I guess. Okay. Or with up and around. And that was like yesterday. So
yeah, get well soon, Kevin Smith.
Indeed.
So there's a Street Fighter 2 animated series on Crunchyroll. Is this going to make Crunchyroll worth subscribing to? Tell me, people.
Well, so the backstory on this, and this one, it was the American. So there's always one. There's been one in the past, and that one's been on Crunchyroll for a little while, and that's the good one, Japan. So this one is the American made one that came out in '95.
Okay.
And it only lasted a season, and it was interesting.
Okay.
From what I remember seeing of it. So I don't know if this would be the thing to get Crunchyroll for, but I personally think there's some good things to get Crunchyroll for, but I'm also slightly biased.
Understood.
But the other Street Fighter series is on there, and including the movie is on there, and but they got a bunch of stuff other than that, so they just added this.
Alrighty.
You want to see some 90s era American made cartooning, this, and you like Street Fighter, this is good for a laugh.
Okay. Avengers Infinity War is now coming out a week earlier. We were just talking about this.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that is April 27th for those keeping track.
Because they need more time to make that money.
Yeah, basically.
So tell me about so Tim, I don't know if you know more about this, the 6 dates for future Marvel films.
Yes. Let me pull up the tweet. Disney's 6 new untitled Marvel films have been dated. May 7th, 2021, July 30th, 2021, November 5th, 2021, February 18th, 2022, May 6th, 2022, and July 29th, 2022.
Okay.
So was this technically phase 4?
Yeah.
Or could possibly be?
Well, actually, we don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, as some comments are suggesting, there are a couple of movies that probably are rife, or most of them are rife for sequels or whatever the case may be. So you got to think that a couple of them are going to be in the mix.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you place your bets on what films it would be.
Sure.
Yeah. Like somebody mentioned Doctor Strange sequel. I can see that one as being a bet. Another Black Panther. Definitely Spider-Man, but that's technically not Marvel fully. But you know that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, and last on the cinematic stuff is Cheetah. There's a rumor out there that Cheetah may be the villain in Wonder Woman 2. Gaia, I kind of thought she was going to be the villain in Wonder Woman, the original movie, but you know.
Yeah, you would think, but I guess they gotta, origin it up first and then, give her some. There's also a rumor that along with this that Kristen Wiig is trying out for the role of Minerva, aka Cheetah.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be weird.
Kinda.
And apparently, the rumor says that Chris Pine is going to be back some kind of way, which dream sequence, flashback, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, there's that. Oh, and Matt Wang was like, giving that last news, talking about it's a New Worries movie. That'll never happen. I don't even think
TV show still needs to find a home.
Exactly. So
that's funny. Alrighty.
All right, we're on the books news now.
Comic news. All right. Scroll in.
Toy corner here. Start off.
Get this thing to scroll in.
Iron Man Mark III 1/4 scale figure unveiled by Hot Toys to celebrate Marvel Studios anniversary.
It's detailed and probably expensive.
I was gonna say, how many thousands of dollars is that?
I don't know if it's,
one Eclectic is gonna get it. Shout out to Eclectic.
Big money baller.
There you go.
Available to pre-order right now. So let's see what it says here real quick. And by real quick, meaning go to the next one and come back.
All right.
Whoa, no, wait. Oh shoot. $567 for the regular version and $613 for the deluxe. And there's also another one that's $635. F all that.
Damn. Anyway, moving on.
Yes.
Black Panther physicals look good though. Anyway, let's start along.
Marvel is bringing Multiple Man back from the dead. Oh yeah, I did a Marvel Legacy guide to relaunches and rebrandings.
Is that your writing, Tim?
It's his own.
Oh, look at how humble he is. He doesn't even want to talk about it on the show.
Shame on you.
I appreciate you putting it in, but yeah, so go check that out.
Yeah.
Your Marvel, so you don't confuse your Marvel Nows with Marvel Now 2.0.
And apparently you weren't the only one that did that, but that was the only one I put in. So
I ain't seen anyone else do it.
Yeah, somebody from IO9 also did a similar thing.
Oh, cool.
I'm gonna have to read this because I have to refresh my recollection. So,
not too hard.
Yeah, but when you're in it, when we're living it, it's hard to remember.
Yeah.
We're living it week to week.
So as you see on the screen, Multiple Man is getting a I guess it's a miniseries. I wasn't even aware of that.
It sounds like it, yeah. And Matthew Rosenberg of Tales of Suspense and
Warriors.
New Warriors miniseries.
He did Secret Warriors.
Yep.
He's doing New Mutants, I guess.
Yeah, the New Mutants. He's doing something else.
Yeah,
Punisher, I guess, right now.
Yeah, so
a couple things cooking. Phoenix Resurrection.
Oh right, yeah. So yeah, they brought him back from the dead for whatever other reason, or not Rosenberg, but Multiple Man. But apparently, according to this, he wasn't dead, or it's a what if he wasn't dead. So
and he's not the only character that's going to be back from the dead.
Yeah. Oh right, and that's also because of that supposed Multiple Man movie that Franco wants to do.
Another movie that's not happening.
Oh, shots fired!
Not happening.
I think Gambit, they're still trying with that Gambit, even
not
though
happening.
Even though nobody wants that. They're
they can't keep a director, and it ain't happening.
Yeah, I don't know. What's his face might do it himself. Oh god.
Yeah, whatchamacallit? What's his name?
I'm trying not to call him Duke.
No. Oh, what's his name? Channing Tatum.
Yeah, I was about to say his wife is on Supergirl. That's the only reason why I'm falling back to that. But yes, Channing Tatum. Anywho's,
Captain and Peggy Carter is finally making the leap from video games to comics.
So comes that new Exiles book. Comes a lot of potential craziness from other realms, other universes, and whatnot, and timelines. This is not crazy. This is probably what people want in the Prime universe.
It's a cool picture of Peggy Carter, Captain Carter from David Marquez, though.
Which I think comes from, she was in Marvel's Puzzle Quest, and they're, from what this says, they're basically going to that universe. So they're going to the universe of a video game or a mobile game to fight the Red Skull with Peggy Carter, Captain Peggy Carter.
Yeah.
And there you go.
Fundraiser seeks to aid Marvel colorist Justin Ponser's cancer treatment.
Yeah, this sucks. This is a terrible story to read. I actually was reading this earlier this week. Apparently, Justin Ponser is at a fairly advanced stage of disease, and he needs some help. I actually got his autograph during, what was it? Death of Wolverine, I think. Him and Soul and a bunch of people that were doing, they were at New York Comic Con. So I remember getting his autograph, and I think he did some stuff for Infinity also. And I think I got him to sign some books. So I've met him before. He's cool, but that was a number of years ago. And I'd actually been kind of wondering, if he was going to be at New York Comic Con the last couple of years. And, he hasn't been. Apparently he's got, unfortunately, a pretty good reason to be otherwise engaged. So, there's a GoFundMe page out there. Please consider donating. I probably will before or after I get my tax return. We'll see.
Yep. Next.
Marvel teases Brian Bendis' final Miles Morales story.
Secret Agent Miles. Oh.
We alluded to that earlier. DC Comics reveals first 6 covers in color for Bendis' Superman run. There it is down there.
All right.
So you get a good colored look of the villain. All new villain, we suppose.
Okay.
HeroesCon 2018 tickets are now on sale.
That's right. And they're adding more people to the list of talent that is coming, as they tend to do.
Because it's officially con season with Emerald City Comic Con kicking off today.
Oh my goodness.
Yep, it has begun.
I have to start mapping out some time to travel. It may be not too far, but
Yep.
See if I can make it to DC. What is it? Awesome Con? And see if I can go see if I can catch a ride down there. I'm gonna call up somebody.
Classic.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Classic's down there, I think. No, but the point is that somebody's up here who might be traveling down there, maybe with
Oh, okay.
or something.
June 15th to 17th is Heroes Cons, folks. So come on down.
Celebrate Mickey Spillane's 100th anniversary with a new Mike Hammer series.
Yeah, so this is coming out of whoosh.
Titan.
Yes. So yeah, there you go. Which
Va-
need to be taking up all that stuff.
Valiant announces Prestige series, The Life and Death of Toyo Harada.
Yep.
Diamond promotes Dynamite and Boom to premier publisher level.
So congrats to them, I guess. I guess that means they're up there with Marvel and DC.
Mm-hmm. Easier to sort through when you're going through the Diamond catalog or the webpage.
Aftershock pulls Blood Blister from the schedule.
Yeah, apparently some scheduling thing and some other, and so I guess it's being pulled, whatever that was.
Archie Super Teens returning in super fun new crossover event.
Yes, it is the Super Teens versus the Crusaders. So, which is the basically the teens of Archie had superhero, and well, I guess I don't know if you want to call Reggie a supervillain or a superhero, whatever it is. But anyway, they had superhero identities back in the day, and that have come up from time to time, and they're bringing them back out for a crossover.
Fraggle Rock returns to comic books with new Boom Studio series. All that. Yeah. Marvel had some more fresh start announcements throughout last week and this week.
Oops. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to show, but we have Avengers #1 from Jason Aaron and Ed McGuinness. Ta-Nehisi Coates and Linnell Yu on Captain America. Jason Aaron sticking on Thor with Mike Del Mundo on art. Ant-Man and Wasp miniseries from Mark Waid and Javier Garron. The Immortal Hulk from Al Ewing and Joe Bennett, I think.
That's
and Amazing Spider-Man from Nick Spencer and Ryan Otley.
Oh, yeah, some potentially good stuff going on there.
Yep. Batman Gotham City Chronicles is on Kickstarter.
So what is this exactly that Matt Wang was bugging me about?
So I believe it is DC and Monolith. I think it's Monolith has been doing all these books. I wish I had one to show you, but they're basically collectible card games. And you know how Matt Wayne loves his card games.
Yes.
So this is one of those. I haven't had a chance to look at what sets this one off as the other one. But this is basically one of those, and they've done this stuff before because they got a bunch of them that are out in the DC and actually Marvel line of I don't know if they're doing the Marvel ones, but they basically have a set of both of them. So I don't know. Like I said, I had a chance to check this one out just properly, but apparently this one has a bunch of figures that come along with it. And actually this one, yeah, this is a card game. So yeah. And it seems kind of expensive. But it looks good. So good on them.
Alrighty.
And Neil Gaiman is turning the Sandman into an expanded comics universe.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
And that is it.
Yeah, that's it. Before we wrap all of news and jump into our last ad, I wanted to mention that the creators of the series Black from Black Mass Comics, Kwanzaa Osayefo, I think it's pronounced. I'm not sure. I apologize if I butchered that. Jamal Igle, Kari Randolph, and I believe her name is Sarah. Yeah, Sarah Litt were doing the rounds at comic shops in New York City over the last few weeks for to celebrate the book, the publishing of the I believe the trade paperback, and as part of Black History Month and Black Comics History Month, quote unquote. So I was able to get the last issue of the Black series autographed by the 4 creators. I unfortunately did not have the wherewithal to get to take them aside and talk to them, but I was able to get this autographed. I was happy about that.
Nice. Yeah, I think didn't you also kickstarted that, Tim? Because I know a couple of us did. I thought
I did.
Yeah. So, and I think we already got those. And American Sweetheart came out like last month or whatnot, which we already talked about that. Actually, before we go to the thing, let me do something real quick, because guess what? If you saw my Instagram, you know it's unboxing time.
Oh, you mean should I finish with an ad for this stuff right after?
Yeah, this won't take long.
No, I mean in terms of the company.
Oh, sure, why not? Go for it. So this week's theme, this month's theme is I teased it on Instagram, and I won't show the bottom because it has my label on it, but it's animal instincts. So you can only imagine who's going to be represented in this box. And of course, we have the nice line drawing, which apparently I was wrong, because you would think they would have gone for that other animal person that seems to be all the rage in the back of people's books. But if you're watching the video, you see there's some line art from Black Panther there, and wait, is there somebody else? Oh, Rhino, Squirrel Girl, Rocket Raccoon for the other people. So they're kind of going through that whole thing. As you can see, there's Rocket Room, but the box inside. We'll skip that for a second. We have a Squirrel Girl patch. We have, what in the world is this? Okay. It is a pin. It is a pin with Rocket Raccoon as a topper, with a little notepad along with it, with his face on it.
Oh.
We have, let's go ahead and get to this. A shirt, as most times, which looks like it has. Okay, for a minute there, I thought it was Darkwing Duck, but apparently it is another duck, and that duck is Howard.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So there is that, and I'm guessing that's his girlfriend down there, or Beverly. I don't know. They may have broken up, I think, given that last series.
What, Leah Thompson? No, I'm kidding.
I know, right? And the last but not least, here's Rhino Pop.
Wow.
Bobblehead Pop at that. And as if I needed another one of these, but I welcome it regardless. Black Panther Pop. This one's called a Wobbler, which I'm guessing is another bobblehead. And that is that, because the rest of it is just some more line art from those various characters that I mentioned earlier. So that is it.
All righty. Well, speaking of the company behind this particular collector's box, although I think that might be the last collector's box they're doing.
I don't know. I haven't heard.
I read something along those lines where they might be redoing this particular. They just announced it, so you may want to look into that.
Yeah, I probably got an email on it somewhere.
Right. So speaking of Funko, fun at first sight, your home for exclusive collectibles, apparel, and brand merchandise. And now, for the listeners of the KLIQ Nation's Comic Book Chronicles, you can enjoy 10% off your entire purchase of Funko Pop bobbleheads and much more when shopping at Funko. To place your first order with 10% off, and to help keep our show free for you, go to our network website at cspn.us. That's cspn.us. Then click on the Keep Our Podcast free link at the top of the page. From there, scroll down to the Funko link and place your order. When you get to the checkout, put in the offer code SHOP10 for your 10% off discount. Funko through cspn.us. Do it today.
Follow us on our individual Twitter accounts. I'm at TimDOGG98 and at CBCron. Radicaz at Radicat and at News Nerds Need. Agent 70 is at Agent_70 on Twitter and Instagram. And Dirt is at PCN_Dirt and popculturenetwork.com. And we'll be back next week with more Comic Book Chronicles. And we are signing off.
Hold on. I got it queued up.
One more time and go. Get low, get low, get low, get low, get low, get low. To the window, to the wall, to the wall. To the sweat drop down my ball. How do you get this wrong? It's Dr. Doom.
What's on your evil mind?
Hold your insulting tongue and mark my words well.
How about this rumor that you are really hired, Mr. Stark?